Chelsea away at Turf Moor
Go.
in the Premier League. I believe this is Saturday. It's a Saturday game.
Saturday at 10,
Yes.
maybe.
10 a.m.
Well, there you go. I might actually be watching that game if it's at 10 o'clock. What are you telling me? You guys,
Places of Burnley, Chelsea, Everton, Bournemouth, Fulham, Sheffield United, or Man U, Brentford.
yeah. Burnley coming off the win at Luton Town. That was a good game. I actually got to watch that one. Real back and forth. I went back and watched it actually. Real back and forth, and they ended up winning late. Chelsea coming off a nice win. What are we saying? You guys worried about this? It might be tough.
I'm not going to say I'm not worried about it because you don't know which I know what Chelsea's going to – I know if players are going to be fielded, but I don't know how they're going to play. It's a game we should win. It's a game we have to keep the momentum with. That'd be 3 in a row for us. That's big moving forward into this next run of games that we do have. We need momentum moving into these, and then hopefully punch one of these guys early, keep the momentum, and be up for the games against you guys, against Newcastle, against Arsenal, against City. Like, to not just lay down and be like, yeah, we're rebuilding, kick us while we're down. Like, I hate that mentality. Like, we had it all last season, and it just we need this momentum. I think Posh isn't going to take that lightly as well. I think he felt a little pressure and has converted it here the last 2 games. Like I said, I hope we just don't get like this. We can't exhale. We have to keep that same energy on the field. Like, Gallagher has to play the same. I like the energy Broja brought up top. Like, I think that we run that completely back. Broja, Mudryk. Same team. Cucurella, Dysat, Connor and Caicedo and Enzo in the middle at that 3. Yeah, I just run it completely back. I mean, James is out for another game, so we don't have to stress about moving the team and disrupting a starting lineup. But
what happened with that? What did he say?
I don't know what he said. Yeah. I don't know what he said. I cannot find it.
It was after the Villa game or something.
I can't find it.
Was he even in the stadium? Like, it would.
Yeah, he was in the stands.
He was and then he went to the tunnel or something and said something inappropriate. He berated the ref.
Well, they deserve it.
So he caught a ban in 90K. So, but honestly, it's like one of those things, right? Like, I don't want him to come back too early either. Like, if you're down, rest. Like, we need you. You are a leader on this team. You have been entrusted with carrying this forward. It's something that you were born and bred here, man. This is something that you have to have instilled in you. And he does. He wants the captaincy. He wants to be the face. He wants to be that guy. Then be healthy. That's you can help us most. And that's one thing he has not done. That's my only problem with Reece James. He'll just be healthy for us, man.
Like, well, hasn't it been that one injury just over and over again?
That hammy. But again, I think we keep the same team. I think we go at Burnley. It's a good thing Burnley leaks goals because I would love to see us score 2 goals here. I think we can do that. And if we get in the mindset of Chelsea scores goals, we don't leak. I'll say it again. I said it last week. We don't leak goals. We don't get scored on like that. We lose games 0-1. We lose games 2-1. Like, rarely. We don't get scored on a lot. So if we can convert our scoring opportunities, if Mudryk can find his scoring boots, if Broja can keep the energy up top and find his scoring boots, if Sterling can keep providing a decent ball in, hopefully find his scoring boots.
Only Man City have given less goals.
We're in great shape. Like, it's just, that's what frustrates me about this. It's like, it's a mentality thing. It's the same thing that you've stressed out with your squad. Like, I understand that injuries happen and it does plague us, but that's why I fault the new owners. I fault our managers. I fault Pochettino. This is a mentality thing. Like, we are Chelsea. We are here to win titles. We are here to play European football. The fact that I had to watch Champions League football and 4 Premier League teams that have no affiliation to it all. Like,
7 years of it, brother. 7 years I've been doing that trash.
We just lifted the trophy. Like, we should still be that. And we lost the respect last year, which is what really rubs me wrong. But this is how we earn it back. We win these games. We go on short runs. We get our points. We move up in the table. We hope like what happens last week. The table helped us last week. We need to take advantage of when the table helps us We also put points up to move ourselves up. When Liverpool lose, when City lose, we need to. That's the week we have to take away 3. We've been in that since towards the beginning of last season. We have to take our 3 when someone else leaves theirs on the table, especially if they're above us in the table, because that's the way we're going to knock Brighton off of playing in Europe. That's the way we're going to knock Newcastle off playing in Champions. That's how we're going to be back at top 4, is scooping these points up against teams. And this is where we drop them. This has been a Chelsea issue. This is a game where we will drop them. We don't drop points against big teams. We drop points against Burnley, against Bournemouth, against Sheffield, against Forest. We don't show up. We lose that game 0-1. We should be 3 high. We should. There's no excuse. And this is why it's a 0-2. Chelsea have to score 2 goals here, keep the momentum, and we're fine. But I say field the same squad. Don't tinker with it. Tell them boys to run it back. You did your job. Pat on the back. Now run it again. Rinse, wash, repeat. I don't think anything should change. I thought Cucurella played I hate Cucurella. I've been huge.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, I don't agree with him being in the squad, but he played amazing on the right. That might have been the fix he needed. If he was a left back when we bought him, okay, well, if you cannot do this, try it on the right. Instead of Raheem Sterling playing left back, you could have put Cucurella, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to try it, and I thought he did great. He held the ball. He maintained
game and a half now.
He didn't get
the right, but he's looked really good.
Right. And he didn't get lost. He tracked his man. He didn't look scared. Like, I don't know why he's looking scared on the left. That was his position. That's what we bought him to do, but he plays scared, and he didn't do that on the right. I think we run it back. Connor, if Connor can have the same game, if Caicedo can play a little bit more defensively and feed into it, score early. I think that's the mentality we have to have. We know we don't get scored on. Score early. Have the day. Control the game. Score early. I hate grinding out these games where we look offensive, and that's what I was talking about last week. We get into this mentality where it's like, oh, well, there's 10 minutes left, and then all of them start playing frantic because they don't know each other. They don't trust each other. They don't know who that guy is that they can lean back on and go, okay, we'll feed him. He's going to get a goal. He's going to get a goal. He's going to get a goal. And they're all
say 2-0?
2-0. They're all just mad dashing for it, and I don't think that needs to happen against teams like Burnley and Forest and Bournemouth. Like, Burnley leak goals. This is a game that we need to prove to ourselves we can score on teams that leak goals.
Do y'all sit back and give Burnley the ball?
I would not do that. I would go 100.
Well, that's what they do. That's what, they like to have the ball, but they give it away and get scored on. That's how they get scored on.
Yeah.
What do you think, Patrick? You think Poch does any kind of counterattacking tactics?
No. I think we press. That was one of the reasons why we played so well against Fulham, because as soon as we took off Broja and Mudryk, the press kind of died.
They're not as fast. They can't cover that ground.
Yeah. And so, Fulham, they didn't really get into the game, but they had some opportunities that they didn't have in the first half for sure. And of course, the second goal came off of putting a press on Tim Ream, and Cole Palmer just picks it off. And I didn't really get to talk about this the other night, but I gotta say, and we've bought a lot of players. There's no question about that. And there are certain players where you're just like, I don't know. Cole Palmer's one you do know. That guy is going to be legit for us. So he's got to play. He played on the right against Fulham. I think you got to play him there again. The energy with Gallagher, playing in front of Enzo and Caicedo, it was great for the press, because then you've got 4 guys that are kind of squeezed in the middle to make them play wide. And I think that I don't know if you can make any changes right now. One, I don't know who you would put on. I mean, if you look at the bench for the game against Fulham, it was not that very strong at all. It was a bunch of
everybody else is in the hospital. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bunch of the developmental squad. I know he leaked a couple goals early on as keeper, but I think that the defense has got a lot more confidence now because Sanchez is playing well. He's attacking the ball. I have to laugh. There's a picture of, I don't know if you saw it in the game against Fulham where he dove outwards to get a ball just to make sure. And it was like somebody got the picture perfectly and he looks like Superman.
So dramatic.
I think I remember that was exactly what I said. I was like, wow, there's one for the cameras.
It was so dramatic. But I mean,
I remember playing against keepers like that too. I hated guys like that. I was like, you don't have to. What are you doing, man? Like, and that was one of those.
They're bored.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, as long as we have that Caicedo Enzo pivot, I feel really confident about us going forward, especially against teams like Burnley, against Fulham, against Sheffield, Everton, all that. I think that pivot is going to be really, really big for us going forward. And as soon as we start getting some guys back, mainly Nkunku, we were talking about De Bruyne being out, and I'm not saying Nkunku is anywhere near the talent of De Bruyne. The point being is we haven't found anybody to really replace that guy behind Jackson. And Jackson, he's struggled with it for sure. I think he's taken a lot of undue pressure on himself to kind of play both roles because Carney's been out. So you lost Nkunku, you lost Carney. I think with this current setup, though, I've talked bad about Gallagher. I've talked bad about Cuckoo. And honestly, I thought DCIC had struggled to begin the season. And I think there was a little bit of understanding because he's working up to that level. But I also think DCIC is why Cuckoo is playing better on the right. Because if you think about it, while you do have Thiago Silva playing on the left with Cuckoo, he's also, while he sees the pass ahead of time, he can get caught out. And I think that was one of the reasons why Cuckoo looks so bad on the left.
Trying to make up for the space because Thiago's going to get dusted. Thiago's going to get dusted if he gives space.
Exactly.
DCIC can make up space. Yeah,
exactly.
He's quick,
and that's why I think it works so well on the right now. So I agree with X that we got to get 2, and I do say that we will get 2. I actually went 2-1 just because it's Chelsea. On the road. It's Chelsea. I'm not saying we're going to leak a goal by any means. I think that it'll be a good goal by Burnley. But I just think that we're starting to show a little bit of momentum, and it's actually real momentum. We talked about it, me and you, Lewis, about that win against Brighton and carrying that over into momentum the next game against Fulham, which happened. I think that there's legitimate momentum now.
And it's been really good to see because we've built the momentum. And this is where I will say, you can tell we have a manager like Pochettino because he played, no matter what guy went out, we've relatively played this same system. And the guys are kind of catching on. That's been good to see because there hasn't been a lot of, last season, it looked like we tried a lot of different things. We were just throwing darts at the wall. Hey, until Lampard came, we knew what we were going to expect. We're not going to leak a goal. We're playing defense all game, 90 minutes. If they score, they score. Whereas Potter and even sometimes under Tuchel, because of the guys we had coming in, it was a lot of dart throwing. And Posh has played this same exact system, rotated a guy in or out, and it's starting to work. And these guys are starting to figure out where they need to be, which that's been really promising to see. But yeah, it's momentum, man. We have to keep it.
And you're going into the international break. So, I mean, it's something that you want to go into that break saying, okay, 100%. We've won 3 in a row. You have a belief in yourself. Yep. So when you come back, you're getting guys back at that point. I mean, Reece
more rested
to training today.
Yep.
Lavia will be back by then. Nkunku will be, I think, a month and a half out. I think he's coming back in December. Is what I saw. So I mean, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but in that meantime, you got to build your own momentum. You stumbled out of the gates for whatever reason. We don't we don't need to rehash that, but keep building that momentum because you need it. Because when you come back,
it's hard
road.
5, yeah.
I mean, you really do.
It won't be fun.
Welcome back. It's a chance. Honestly, though, I like those 5. I like
the first game is at the Emirates.
We can
No, it's at
prove-
Stamford Bridge.
Oh, it is at the Bridge.
Yeah, it's
we
at the
can
Bridge
prove
on the 21st.
that we deserve to be up there still. Like, this is a chance for them boys to really like rise to this occasion. We take away 12 points out of these 5.
Dream on.
I don't.
Dream on, bro. Good luck. Good luck with that.
We don't
What you
need
saying?
help.
Brentford, that's a
That's
possibility.
right.
The Brentford game. Okay. Oh yeah.
Well, I'm looking to see what other games there are. Hold on.
It's everyone else. It's everyone else at the top.
Newcastle,
Spurs.
It's Arsenal, Spurs, Manchester United, Manchester City.
We'll beat United.
We'll beat United.
I will give you that. They're
beat
terrible.
United.
I will give you that.
So Brentford and United, that could be
Beat
6.
Brentford. I think we can give Newcastle a game, but not if they play
We'll
the same
see.
way they played in.
Yeah.
Bro,
Well, Lewis, your boy Vince gets a win.
I called it.
Yeah.
you did
They're
call.
hosting Chelsea. They'll be up for this. What are you saying? Because
Yes, they will.
I've gone 2-2. I think it'll be a good game. I think Burnley will be up for it. I think they'll find ways to get through it, but I do think they'll give goals that, like you guys say, on the counter. But yeah, what are you saying, Lewis?
You know, Jake, you talked about Arsenal and your heart pick. This is my heart pick, right? I'm going to have a heart pick for this one. And it's going to be strange because you're going to be like, what's wrong with your heart? So, I'm not that I'm rooting for Chelsea, but I've talked about just seeing the consistency come back to them. And you've seen a form of consistency sort of come back. I think Burnley is looking to find that consistency. They're not there yet. They're still trying to figure out how can they do their thing against the big boys. And Chelsea are still one of the big boys. For me, I think that, and it's funny because one of my buddies that's a Chelsea fan, he hates Burnley because of how they ruined your season one year. And so I think Chelsea. So I think Chelsea.
We don't talk about such things.
I actually think Chelsea beats them 2-0. I don't think.
Yeah, all right.
I don't think that. I mean, my heart says, "Hey, man, I want him to have a chance," but I'm being realistic now because Luton gave him a game, and Luton is not good at all. And
They beat Everton.
Because Everton's not good at all.
This league, man, you just can't figure it out. That's the thing.
So with
That's
that,
what I love. Yeah,
I am picking Chelsea to win 2-0. I think this is something that'll build their momentum, and I think it's sort of what both X and Patrick said. It's about they're gonna get the points they can get while they can get them because they know the other ones. I'm not saying they're going to lose all the other ones, but they know that.
But we're not saying that.
Winning those games
huge.
feel like a hill that they may be too difficult to climb.
We win this next 5. I'm telling you, we win this next 5. It puts us right back on the table into a contention for Europe.
So I think they're going for draw.
I thought he was going to go something even crazier. I thought you were about to say something even crazier.
I think Chelsea is shooting for draws after this one, but I think Chelsea does beat Burnley. I think it's 2-0. Burnley will give them a game, though. Burnley will give them a game, but they're just not there yet. And I think Burnley won't be there until around January. I think they need another window to start seeing and filling some of those holes because they can play it. It's just they don't have the personnel to do it yet. And I think they'll sort that out because, I mean, clearly they have quality. It's just not at the Premier League level.
Yeah. Fair enough. I think it's going to be a good game regardless. In a 10 o'clock window on Saturday, I'll definitely be tuning in.